Awesome, Grant here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to take a look at some accessories for your Microsoft Surface Duo. So maybe you just caught the Duo off of a lot of the sales that are going off and you want to check out some accessories to help protect your investment. So I've got some Super Shield screen protectors here. These are matte screen protectors. So you get a set of 3 on each side, 3 for your left, 3 for your right display. And these can also be used to apply to the outside of your device. So you can give it that kind of matte frosted glass feel on the outside. And then of course I have the Microsoft Surface Duo bumper, official bumper from Microsoft. I've got it in supposedly this blue color, although it looks more kind of a grayish. So we're gonna go ahead and check these out in this video. And so here we go with the finished product. All these screen protectors and the bumper have been applied. You can see what the screen protectors on the outside looks like. It really gives it that frosted glass finish and feel. So it's much more dull now. It's not as shiny. Doesn't pick up as much fingerprints. Not that it picked up a ton before because of the color, but it picks up even less now. And I just like the look of this kind of duller matte feel and look. It really feels like frosted glass. If you've kind of felt like the Pixel 4 XL, that kind of frosted glass finish, this is exactly what it feels like. And I really feel that this is what Microsoft should have done to begin with. I really prefer this type of feel, or give people the option, but this really does feel like frosted glass, and I just really like it a lot more than I thought it would. I can't really believe how much more this has changed the texture. This is a little more grippy, and just the overall feel and how I feel about the device. I really like it a lot more now. And you can see what it looks like here on the inside. I'll turn off the screen so you can see it's much more dull. That matte finish on top, it picks up fingerprints, but not nearly as much as the actual glass. And the main concern that I had was that it would have more distortion. People were saying that, matte screen protectors kind of not just dull out the colors on the screen, but also give you more kind of color distortion especially on some of the whites and whatnot. And it does to a certain degree. It definitely took a little bit of getting used to, but now my eyes have adjusted and it's no big deal to me personally. Some people might find it kind of something that you just can't overlook and get over. So matte isn't for everyone, but this is actually working out okay for me. And the other thing is the actual touch response. So this hasn't affected touch response at all. You can still see here I can swipe around, and it hasn't really affected or noticeably affected the touch response for me. So no issues with touch or anything like that. It's just as responsive. And if I'm having any kind of touch response issues, that was always kind of there as a part of the experience on the Surface Duo anyway. So touch response is not really a problem here since applying the matte screen protector for me. The one thing that you can do is you can actually hear it though. Now it feels and sounds like paper. So if you can hear this, I'm not sure if that's really picking up on my mic, but every swipe I can hear it, and it really sounds and feels like I'm touching paper. So that's the one thing. Usually the matte glass, kind of tempered glass screen protectors, feels super smooth. It feels like this kind of outside of the device where it's like really frosted glass because it's glass. But this is just that kind of sheet kind of screen protector, so it doesn't feel like glass. It actually feels like paper to the touch. And so I think if you're using the pen, you might really like this. It'll feel more like writing on paper than touching the actual glass of the display. So far, very pleased with the matte screen protector. It's looking really nice, and I really like it here on the outside with this frosted glass look. Now moving on to the dual bumper here, and this is something else that I thought, I wasn't really sure about. I don't really like silicone kind of cases because this actually catches when I put it in my, pants pocket, shorts pocket. This can get kind of stuck to the inner lining of the pockets, and this does, but because it's not applied on the whole device, it doesn't get quite stuck as easily. And so compared to full silicone kind of case on other normal devices, those are much harder to pull out and put into the pocket than this one. I do get some resistance on the edge when I put it in my pocket, but it's not as much fumbling around because the whole screen is not covered in silicone. So it's easier to get in and out. So that it's not as big of a deal for me. It's actually looking a lot nicer, and it feels nicer than I thought it would. I'm actually liking this more. It feels nice to the touch. The one concern that I had was that it would add too much width to the already fairly wide device, but it really doesn't. It adds a little bit, but nothing uncomfortable, at least for my hands. And so that's not been a problem for me. Maybe if you have smaller hands and it's already too wide for you, this could make it maybe just too wide. But for me, it's just added a little bit of width, and it hasn't been that big of a deal. So two big concerns for me around the silicone sticking in my pockets and adding too much width. Not a big deal for me in my experience, but just something to note that could be something for you. And I just like the touch, the soft touch of it adds more grip, and the overall look of it I'm actually liking more than I thought it would. So combined with this kind of frosted matte look and this kind of dulled out silicone kind of bumper case look, I think it gives it an overall nice look. And this is supposed to be a blue color, but it's kind of, depending on the lighting, you can see it kind of looks blue in this LED light. In other lighting situations, it looks a little bit more like a dark gray. So I really kind of do like this. There's other colors. There's red, graphite, the case color that came with the phone, which is more of that kind of gray graphite. But I'm liking this blue. I think it's something different, and overall I'm liking it with the look of this matte kind of screen protector on the outside. So there is the installation and look at the Super Shields matte screen protectors, as well as the official bumper for the Microsoft Surface Duo from Microsoft. So if you've got the Surface Duo, these are a couple accessories that I would highly recommend, and shout out to Jay Will for actually pulling me onto the Super Shields matte screen protectors. I saw it on his channel and how he applied it to the back, and I took a chance and they came out really great. So really loving these accessories. Maybe they'll be good for you. If you're interested, I'll have links in the description if you want to pick them up for yourself. Any other questions or comments, leave them in the comments section and I'll try to answer what I can. And as always, thanks for watching.